You know, here on the Marky channel, we like to talk about people being cancelled. So you can probably imagine my shock when I realised after uploading my last video that I was too cancelled. And it seemed like it was all because I lied to you guys, okay? I told you guys because I had a bird nest on the top of my head, I was gonna get my hair cut, and it would be the last time that you see my hair looking like a mess. And then ever since then, I've wore a hat, you know? Didn't really think that much of it, I'm just being lazy, can't be bothered to do it. But there was a solid, like, 10 people that were quite annoyed about it. Like, I think there was one guy specifically who was all like,
you know, you keep saying that you're gonna get this haircut, and then you didn't get it. Like, if you want to be trustworthy, you can't lie to your viewers.
and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, mate. But yeah, I just wanted to apologise for being a lying piece of shit, okay? I hope you guys can still trust me. But yeah, either way, in today's video, we're gonna be following up with the Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein story we spoke about in the last video. Now, to cut a long story short, because I did obviously speak about it a lot more in one of my previous videos, they basically did a Frenemies episode, which is their podcast. It started off with Trisha saying a few indirects about Ethan and his parenting, like she was going on about how she wouldn't have a nanny to look after her kids even if she was at work, and she was kind of trying to make Ethan feel a bit disrespected. And then that turned into Trisha saying, oh, should we get Hila on the podcast? To which Ethan was like, no, she doesn't want to be spoken about by you on this podcast. The reason behind that is because Trisha is literally seeing Hila's brother, and they aren't exactly on the best terms. In fact, apparently Moses, which is Hila's brother, is saying one thing to Trisha and one thing to Hila, which is turning everyone against each other. And as you can imagine, if you've ever seen one of my videos before talking about Trisha, that didn't exactly sit well with Trisha. In fact, she actually stormed off and she was quite upset about the whole ordeal. Well, during the next episode of the H3 podcast with Ethan and Hila, Trisha Paytas actually uploaded a video talking about them, to which they actually went on to react to live. So that's what we're going to be reacting to today. We're going to be looking at both sides and see what side of the fence I sit on. But before we actually do get into the reaction, I do just want to say we're trying to reach 350,000 subscribers on this channel. We're getting ever so closer, but it's still quite a while away. So if you do want to try and help out and maybe scroll down and press the subscribe button, that would make my bloody year. Also, right, it came to my attention that my Instagram is embarrassing at the fact that how dead it is right now, and I'm gonna actually start using it a bit more. So if you could maybe help me out and go and follow the Instagram, that would be great. It's definitely my platform that has the least amount of followers on, okay? So if you do want to go over there, I post like literally daily my stories showing you basically what's on my mind that day. So if you do want to head over, that would also make my year, right? I need to stop saying that, don't I? But yeah, right, let's get into this fucking action then, shall we?
Okay, now I had all this stuff planned, but I think we have to watch Trisha's new video live.
God.
Oh, that's probably not a great idea.
Oh, it is a good idea. Think about Markie's video, eh? He needs the content, for God's sake.
Okay, so the title is So Done with H3 and Their Hypocrisy and Lies. I feel like we were really fair. What did we say? Like, we were literally just saying exactly what happened.
I'm not gonna lie, right? I have been trying to keep up with this as much as I can, and I do personally think that Ethan has been fairly fair with all of this. Fairly fair? Is that what you can say? I don't know. I'm saying it, okay? But one thing that has stood out to me so far that I kind of actually did disagree with is with the whole, like, Hila and Trisha situation, when Trisha said, like, oh, you should text me, like, if you've had a problem or if you don't want me to talk about you, why don't you just tell me? I also think that that would be a good idea. I think when there's so many messengers involved and there's so many middlemen, a situation will just never get solved. When in actual reality, if she did just drop a text, maybe this situation didn't happen. So maybe I have to disagree with Ethan and Hila on that.
Here we go. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you worry, Ethan. I'm buckling up, okay? I saw this in my sub box and I thought, you know what? There's a video in there, so don't worry. I am ready.
Let's go. Buckle in, boys.
Also, can we just kind of like clarify where my content's actually got to now? I'm currently reacting to a video of Ethan and Hila reacting to Trisha, who is reacting to their podcast, you know? Like, I really am scraping the barrel with this one.
This might be the end of Frenemies right before our eyes.
Honestly, I'm done. I'm honestly done with Frenemies. Yeah, we were supposed to try and do this Dr. Drew episode next week or whatever, but I'm seriously freaking done. My security guard's behind me right now. Sorry, he just like came in, but
do you know, right? Trisha and Nick Ricardo have this strange thing in common. Whenever they film these videos in their cars, they don't half get sidetracked, do they? Every single time they're halfway through a sentence and they're like, oh, by the way, there is a person right there, you know, because I'm in the outside world. There tends to be a lot of people in the outside world. I would love if one day we can all stay on topic, but that's also coming from the person who started off this video complaining about the fact that people didn't like his haircut. So what do I know?
I'm so freaking done with him because honestly, they didn't even watch the full video of what I put out. And I am so fucking sick of Hila being so fucking mightier, holier than thou. I deserve to not be talked about and all this shit like that. So did we at the beginning of our relationship. So did we at the beginning of when
it's a little bit different though, isn't it? It really is a little bit different. And I did say this in my last video talking about it. To put in perspective, Ethan and Hila were talking about Trisha at the beginning of her and Moses' relationship because it was meant to be for sure. They did like this bachelorette show on their podcast. They got together as meant to be like a joke for the show show, and then all of a sudden it turned out serious, and they quit the show because of that without telling them, so they were just pissed off. And then on the flip side, Trisha Paytas was trying to slay Hila on the podcast the other day on H3's own channel, you know, slate his wife on his channel. Like, I don't think they're gonna sit there and flag a video down that's on your channel, Trisha, talking about it all, but obviously Ethan doesn't want that on his own fucking channel, okay? Sure, that's common sense.
This is just not a good comparison. They were on the dating show.
I know, this is so not the same.
Like, maybe I leaked something that they didn't think I should have, but on a personal level, she's dating our brother. We want to know what's going on.
It all started from him telling us he was gonna apply just for the show. It all started like that.
Yeah, I think it is a bit of an unfair comparison, to be fair, but I can see where Trisha's also coming from in the sense of like, oh, you can talk about me, but I can't talk about you, because Ethan's obviously spoke about Trisha on many different occasions. And obviously, you know my stance, guys. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I don't think you should ever talk about Trisha Paytas in a YouTube video. But in all seriousness, I do see where she's coming from. It's kind of a bit like if she made a video talking about me, and then I sat there like, how dare you talk about me? You're not allowed to talk about me, eh? How dare you? But yet again, in actual reality, we all know deep down that I wouldn't react like that. I would just make a video about it and make it the title. I'm too predictable, aren't I?
Moses
was not what happened.
Moses was like, I'm going to apply for the show to be interesting.
And we were the one. He was actually asking us, like, what should I say? You want me to be funny? You want this? And we were like, just do your thing. Just be yourself. I remember it very vividly. But so, so no wonder we talked about it. It was meant for the show.
Dude, the comparison is ridiculous. Like, I once they said, we decided not to talk about it anymore. Good.
Also, can we also bear in mind that Trisha had actually came out and literally said that the reason why she first started talking to Moses was to kind of just piss off Ethan and Hila. She said she was kind of getting her own back because they'd spoken about her so much in the past. There was that, like, face tuning, like, situation where they spoke about her. They also had Trisha on the podcast and showing her how she lied, saying that she demonetized her trans video, and it turned out she actually made like $8,000 or whatever it was off it. She literally came out and said that she was kind of just getting her own back at first, and then it turned out that she actually did like him. So, I mean, when we're talking about morals here, I don't think either of you are exactly angels.
Relentlessly about me, and she's like, what's the joke? What's the joke about my family not being invited? It's a fucking joke.
No, it's not. Oh my God.
She's angry, isn't she? She's fuming. I mean, with the whole joke thing, right? It could be a joke, it could not be, who knows? But jokes don't tend to land that well when you're, first of all, saying them to a person that you don't particularly get along with, and second of all, when it actually involves that person's brother, who they seem to have a bit of a problem with at the moment, and saying like their mum's not going to be invited to the wedding. They're probably going to take that a little bit personally.
How is it a joke? I don't understand. How is saying Moses doesn't even like you guys anyway while you're angry a joke? How are you going to write that as a joke? And you keep saying it.
We're not engaged. We're not getting married. There's no wedding right now. It's a fucking joke. So to be like, what's...
Wait, you guys are definitely trying to get pregnant and you just bought a house together. So how is you guys getting married a joke? What's the joke? I mean...
What's so funny about that? Hey, guess what? Fucking Ethan and Hila, that's what you guys signed up for. You guys wanted me on the show, and you guys used this to get views, and we got the million views, and whatever, and like, I'm fine with that. I'm fine being exploited.
She doesn't seem fine with that, if I'm completely honest. The video I'm currently watching right now does not strike me as a video of someone who is fine with something. But look, one thing I am actually going to defend Trisha on right now is if we actually go over to the channel. I think one thing that she might be alluding to, and one thing that I noticed straight away was, you know, the H3 After Dark series that they do, okay? We've got one here, here, and here. These are all just called, like, H3 After Dark number 12, number 14, number 15. But as soon as, like, this whole Trisha thing happens, it's H3 After Dark, talking about the Trisha thing, and as you can see by the views, it did a lot better. So I can see how she would probably sit there and feel a bit like, oh, okay, like, you're probably buzzing this actually happened, and now you're using it to get some views and just joke about it. When realistically, they're kind of close to being family now in a weird, fucked up way. So I will defend Trisha on that one. I do see how she would be pissed off at the fact that they're trying to exploit it, if you will.
You're not being exploited. I don't know. I feel like when she gets into this episodes, she doesn't even mean what she says.
That's kind of...
So I don't even know if I should even react. Because obviously, I didn't even respond to her comments about our parenting that she made.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there. If we really are going to take each other's words.
Dude, the top comment is so perfect. Trisha, you don't talk about your own brother because he doesn't want you to. And I respected that. I was like, okay, fine. So how come you can't give Hila that same respect?
Good point. It's a good point. You know what? As much as you can get some people in the comment section who'll be angry at the fact that you lied about getting a haircut, you do get some smart people. I kind of realized that a lot after I've uploaded the video, because I do actually read, like, literally every single comment, especially in, like, the first day of the video being live. I'll read every single comment. And there's always a bunch of you guys that say something a lot more smarter than me that I wish I said in my video. But doesn't mean I'm letting the haircut guy off the hook, okay? You really hurt my feelings.
My mom does not want to be part of the internet and everything that we do in this way. And so, and Trisha knows that. My brother have told her that.
Yeah, I think it's always a lot deeper when it comes to family, isn't it? I mean, we kind of seen this when it was like KSI and Deji having that big like brotherly rivalry that just felt like really odd, and it felt kind of like out of place to even be watching it. Like, it felt like something I shouldn't even know. Like, it's all fine and dandy having some like internet beef when it's like Gabby Hanna and Trisha Paytas, like two people who first of all aren't related and second of all just don't get along. But when it is family, you do kind of sit there and you're a bit like, oh god, actually I don't even know if I really want to know this. Maybe this should be left for off the internet. But as we have came to know about people specifically like Trisha Paytas, nothing is really left off the internet.
She likes her privacy, she likes living a normal regular life, and she doesn't want to become anything other than what she's used to. I mean, she should be able to understand my request.
Yeah, by the way, can we talk about how like kind of odd that is to bring someone's mother up in a YouTube beat? Like, can you imagine if the other day when I made that video at David Dobrik and like the scam puzzle type thing, and I was just sat there and I was all like, yeah, he has scammed quite a few people, like people are wasting their money, they're not gonna get anything in return, I don't really think that this is the best thing to do, but also, don't get me started on his mother. And I just sit there at a 5-minute rant about how I dislike his mother. Like, it's not really something that happens in YouTube beef, is it? I think it's just enough of a reason how this whole stuff just seems a bit playgroundy. It's like when you're in year 5 on the playground and you go, my dad would batter your dad. Bit interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Very, very interesting.
Don't be like, what's the joke? It's not funny. Oh, I didn't know you guys are the fucking comedy gods that get to decide what's funny, what's a joke, what's inappropriate, what's entertaining.
What is the joke? I mean, you're saying it's a joke, but what's the joke?
I would also say as well, I definitely don't think the H3 podcast is the place for the comedy gods. I will say that. Sorry, Ethan. But I also don't think you exactly have to be a comedy god to realize that bringing someone's mother into some YouTube drama isn't exactly the best idea.
Fucking sick of these people. I'm so fucking sick of it, and I'm so done. And I literally don't care. I literally don't care. Yes, we buried the hatchet. Yes, we said I'm sorry to each other. Yes, I was over it. But I was allowed to make a video in response to the comments I was getting.
She doesn't exactly sound over it. Am I the only person who's kind of like noticing that right now? Like, she said a couple things there. She said, yes, we've buried the hatchet. Yes, we've apologized to each other. And yes, I'm over it. Really? If you've buried the hatchet, then why are you making a video screaming about this? And it's not just at the comments like you just said. This whole video so far has been you just going at Ethan and Hila. That doesn't exactly seem like a brilliant way to bury the hatchet, if I'm honest. Like, yes, if she made like a response video and she was just like kind of respectful about it, just spoke her mind, just said her opinions, said her side of the story, I think everyone could probably respect that, right? But when it comes to a point where you're literally screaming, going, oh, I'm just sick of her being all high and mighty. Oh, who are you, the fucking comedy police? Yeah, I don't really think that's the best way to bury the hatchet, you know?
The comment was, and he sent me a WhatsApp, and I sent it back, and he saw it. He said he saw it at 12:43. So he saw this while filming the live. I pinned this comment. People keep praising Ethan/Hila, but to be honest, they're just as toxic as David and his gang was. They poke Trisha in ways that they know will get a rise out of her and don't fully communicate with her. He's like, that's our show. That's what we do. And that's what I do.
Don't know if I particularly agree with that. By the way, I do love it when like YouTubers like just pin comments and like on a video where like 99% of people are disagreeing with them and they just find that one comment that's like, yeah, Trisha, you're right. Honestly, guys, if you want to be the pinned comment of this video, I want you to comment down below and compliment me, okay? I want you to make me feel all high and mighty. I want you to make me feel like I'm the comedy god. Let me know in the comment section and I'll pin your comment.
Then he embarrasses me. Then I'm the fucking crazy one. I cross the line. It's not funny. What, driving a wedge in our family is not funny. Driving a wedge in between our fucking relationship at the beginning is not funny either. I never once asked you guys to talk about my podcast. In fact, Moses specifically asked you, Hila, just to have Ethan stop talking about him. And what did you say, Hila? What did you say to Moses? You said that's the joke. It's part of the show.
Look, you know what? I will defend Trisha again. I feel like we've been like pretty, maybe not 50-50. That's definitely the wrong phrase to use here. I reckon like 70-30 right now. Yeah, Trisha makes some good points, I guess. Now, as much as I don't have a problem with Ethan and Hila talking about Moses and Trisha when they first started kind of like talking and whatnot, because it did just seem like, and they did kind of admit that they were just doing it to kind of piss Hila and Ethan off. Obviously, they quit the show, like this big show they had planned, so obviously Ethan and Hila were pissed off, and then they spoke about it. I don't have a problem with that, but I do see how Trisha would be pissed off if they went and go and speak about it when it was quite clear that it is becoming a bit more serious, and Trisha and Moses do actually like each other. And not even out of respect for Trisha at that point, but also because it's like Hila's brother. Family, you know? I just don't think I'll ever understand the whole, like, talking about your family problems on a YouTube video, I guess. So I think it is somewhat of a good point. I think they did probably talk about it a little bit more than they had to.
Moses doesn't have a voice in this. You guys have this platform, and you didn't even watch the fucking video, but they take this as a personal attack, this comment. Oh, me pinning a tweet.
I'm not following.
Yeah, I don't think we can watch it
I don't know that we should watch this.
Yeah.
and people in the chat are saying it just feels too bad.
This is the problem too, is like I don't know what to do with this situation, but it's obviously gotten a little out of hand at this point.
I think the best thing to do would just keep it all off the internet, right? Like from all parties, just don't speak about it on the internet. Like this whole like podcast idea, the frenemies thing, is a good idea, okay? It's two people that don't get along too well. They've had a bit of beef in the past and they've got very conflicting opinions. It's a very good idea for a podcast. But unfortunately, they clearly can't handle that, okay? Especially probably Trish in a situation, who's obviously left the show and quit the show quite a few times now. I don't know, maybe it's just me that thinks that if they do obviously carry on the show, especially the way it is, it's just gonna keep causing more problems like this, because as soon as you have a bit of a disagreement at the podcast that turns into like real life drama, the chances are someone's gonna end up responding online again, because it's already online, which is never gonna be the right way to kind of deal with the whole family stuff. But either way, I would love to hear your opinions down below on the whole situation. I think I've made my opinions clear already, so let me know and then we'll have a bit of a conversation in the comments. And also, if you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like down below, and also if you want to subscribe, that would be a massive old help. We are uploading every single day up until the end of the year, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't actually know, have I made it to a month yet? I think we're coming up close to a full month of daily uploads, which I think might be the most I've ever done in a row, so that's good news, I guess. Callum Markie's actually became somewhat consistent. I am flabbergasted. But yeah, either way, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, good. I'm a T-star, boy, and that's forever till I die. Up and coming, MC, you can see it in my eyes every time I go.